Alright guys, today we're doing a sugar skull makeup. Super easy, super fun. Let's get started. I started out taking a black eyeliner and tracing out where I'm going to lay down my eye hole. You can make this as big as small as you want, but I do recommend going ahead and covering up that eyebrow unless you want to take the time to do it the old-fashioned way with spirit gum and glue. Now I'm just laying down an eyeshadow primer. You can use concealer or foundation. You just need something for your eyeshadow to stick to. You can use face paint, but I wanted to do it this way. Then I'm taking a red eyeshadow. This is, as always, Love Plus from Sugar Pill, and I'm just patting that all over the area of my eye using a big, fluffy, flat shader brush from Sigma. I just patted this all over with the bigger brush just to kind of build up all of the color to the best of my ability. And then after I get most of it everywhere that I want, I will take a smaller, more precise brush just to kind of make sure I get all that color nice and precisely laid down all around the area of my eye. Don't worry if it's not absolutely perfect because we are going to cover up and sharpen this black line later. This is just to give us a good guide and a place to work with. Then I took a black eyeshadow and I'm kind of carving out my crease really sloppily, nothing fancy schmancy here. You don't even have to do this if you don't want to. I just kind of wanted to create some sort of definition in the crease area. It really depends on how you want your skull to look. It doesn't make a ginormous difference in the overall appearance of the skull, but I thought that it gave it somewhat of a nice glam touch because I will do things like add lashes and liquid liner later. Speaking of liquid liner, I'm taking NYC's liquid liner in the black shade just to draw a line to help my lashes have something to blend in later. I don't believe that I showed myself applying my lashes, but just so you guys know, they are Grand Glamour from Vegas Nay. Now moving on to the glitter, all I did is take a brush with a little bit of Too Faced glitter glue on the brush and I dipped it in some red glitter and just patted it all over my eye. You could use eyelash glue if you don't have like a true blue proper glitter glue. Wow, that rhymed. But once again, the glitter is completely optional. If you had a glitter face paint, this would be even easier, I'm sure, but I didn't mind it. I think that the glitter does give it something a little bit different because later we are going in and adding rhinestones. So it's just a really fun, sparkly effect. I mean, I've seen some of the coolest skulls ever where people are using like metal and pearls and glitter and diamonds and spikes and studs, and it's so amazing, and I really wanted to just get a little bit of influence from that. After all that's done, we are going to take some white face paint, and I recommend starting off going around your eyes and kind of tracing that out first. I actually took the white face paint to cut the shape of one of the eyes because I thought it was way too big and much, much bigger than the other one. I didn't care if they were perfectly symmetrical. This isn't meant to be like an award-winning makeup job. It's just a quick, easy, fun Halloween tutorial that I think anyone can do, but there are tips and tricks that make it easier along the way, and cutting around the eye with the face paint first, I think, is the easiest way to get it done. Just take your time, and once you round out the shape of those eye holes, you can move on to paint the rest of the area around your face. I use water activated paints. They are from MEHRON, I believe. They're called Paradise Paints. They're super easy to work with and extremely opaque and beautiful. They are my favorite, but grease paints will work. You could even use like white foundation if you have some. You can use a NYX Jumbo pencil. That's why these kind of Halloween tutorials are my favorite, because literally anyone on any budget with any amount to any different type of supplies could get it done. So yeah, I'm just gonna color in my face. Then I'm going to take a tiny eyeliner brush. This one is from Tarte. It's one of my favorite brushes. I buy it over and over again. I just haven't picked it up in a while, but I really like it for any kind of line work as it is super narrow and precise and it doesn't splay out the way other brushes do. But I'm taking this brush and a little bit of black face paint, also from MEHRON, again, water activated, just to kind of define and sharpen the outer corners of our red eye holes. You can kind of create a flower petal pattern around the circumference of your eyes if you want to. I don't know if that's the right term, but that's what came out of my mouth, so it is what it is. But I just wanted it to be completely solid all the way around. Your sugar skull can be as different and unique as you want, but this is what I decided to do. Then I'm taking some of that red eyeshadow and kind of using it to kind of haphazardly, quote unquote, contour my face. I just wanted to bring some more of the red into the skull, not just on the eyes, just so it wasn't totally solid white. But once again, do what you want. Next, I'm drawing my spider web on my forehead. Same brush, same black face paint. I started off by drawing a few lines that start, wow, I need to dye my hair. My roots are crazy. I started off with a little bit of the black face paint and just drew some straight lines from my hairline down towards my eyes. You can make these as long as you want. You can put as many lines as you want. I just kind of played with it, and I started off with 4, but then I added another because I did my spacing not so awesome. And then I just drew kind of like an upside down U shape to connect them. Once again, as many as you want, and you can totally omit this part if you don't want to, but I did this last year for Halloween. That's where I have the headdress from. I made it, and I kind of wanted to do it again because it was, like I said, super easy and fun. I did the upside down spiderweb shape last year. Thought I'd do it again. But there's only 5 million sugar skull images you can find and take different bits of inspiration from to create a sugar skull that is perfect for you. Next, I'm going to go ahead and black out the tip of my nose. You can make the tip of your nose as big or as small as you want. I think last year I only did the very tippy tip of it, but I went a little banana sandwich and gave myself a nice big old rotted out schnoz. You are a skeleton technically in the situation, so you wouldn't necessarily have a tip of your nose. That's why I'm doing it, but you guessed it. Do what you want. Moving on to some more random designs, I put a little cross in the very center of my nose, in between my eyes. This is kind of traditionally a design that is seen on most sugar skulls. I've looked at tons and tons of reference images, but do what you want. Put a couple little dots above it and below it just to give it a little something something, and then I'm moving on to my chin flower. For my chin flower, I'm just taking my brush, same face paint. I started off just drawing petals. There really is no trick to this. Just draw some petals and some leaves and connect and build upon it as you see fit. I started off with it being really small, and then I realized it was kind of off center. Once it started, it was really just going to be this big. But then it was super off center, so I had to go in and add more to it to kind of make it a little bit more centered. Geez, everyone take a shot every time I say centered. After I realized I needed to kind of add to it, I decided to add some really big leaves on the side. That's what these are going to be after I finish coloring them in. And then after I did my leaves, I just kind of built on the center of it to kind of give it some more height. But once again, do what you want. Colored it in with green face paint and red eyeshadow. But I think last year when I did this, I just used green eyeshadow and red eyeshadow. There's no need to get face paint. Definitely improvise, get creative. I tell you guys all the time, it's all about creativity and technique. It's never about your product. Well, sometimes it's about your product, but the technique and the talent is yours. The product really isn't the most important element in your overall makeup application. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my lips because I'm going to add kind of lines around the side of my mouth, and I wanted to have that mapped out before I went on and added any more designs so that the designs didn't obstruct the mouth area, because I mean, you got to do it. So to start off with the 714 lip liner from Urban Decay, and then filled in my lips using Creeper from ColourPop just to give myself a nice matte red lip. I did this exact same makeup on one of my friends last year, and she was a purple sugar skull. You could do a sugar skull in any combination of colors in the free world, so don't get too caught up on the colors that I use or the brands that I use. Just use what you have. Now I'm creating my mouth lines. I just started off kind of creating an upturned shape at the corner of my mouth going up towards my ears, and then I'm going to go in and create lines around the sides of my mouth with the black face paint. But on my actual lips, I used the same brush, and I used a black liquid lipstick because I didn't want it to run when my mouth watered or something, because water activated paints will run when water touches them. So that's just a tip for you there. But around my mouth, I went ahead and just kept on using the these lines right here. This is the face paint. Just a tip. I do recommend trying to use liquid lipstick if you can on your lips as opposed to water activated paint, because it runs, like I said. Anyway. Now I'm just kind of creating some little filigree shapes. I just kind of referenced some images and just drew some things. I'm not the most amazing freehand artist in the free world. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to be. It's just not my forte. So I just kind of held my breath and hoped for the best. Once again, you can do any kind of designs that you want. Check Pinterest. There are so many beautiful sugar skulls out there. I took inspiration from dolls, from drawings, from tattoos, whatever. Couple more filigree lines right here. I kind of look like I have whiskers, right? Like the way my nose is. After I got done with this, I was like, I look like a sugar skull puppy. Tis what tis, but you know, gotta do it. Now I'm gonna apply my rhinestones all around my eyes. These are Swarovski Elements. I get them from Hobby Lobby. I love using them in makeup because they're so beautiful and sparkly, and this was extremely time consuming, and I wish I would have got bigger ones, but in person, it was such a beautiful overall glittery effect. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will catch you in the next one. Hope you're having a wonderful Halloween season, and I love you more than you will ever know.